height, defense, athleticism, a cutter, a slasher, someone that can catch lobs. When I saw that the Denver Nuggets added Aaron Gordon, they can win the West now.
Most people watch Aaron Gordon and see a good player, solid defender, athletic.
Jokic to Gordon.
And a 360 spin. Woo!
Always plays hard, does the dirty work. But that framing is costing people their understanding of how this Denver team actually works.
Jokic to Gordon! Beautiful play out of the time.
Because when you really dig into what Gordon gives Jokic on offense, what he takes off Jokic's plate on defense, and what the Nuggets look like the second he sits down.
The game. 5 on the shot clock. Fox on the move. Lost the handle. Fires. Air ball. Shot clock.
You stop seeing a good role player, and you start seeing a guy who might be the single most important piece of the 2026 championship puzzle. And nobody outside of Denver is talking about him the right way. I want to change how you watch Aaron Gordon, because once you see this, you can't unsee it. There's a number buried in Denver's stats that most people scroll right past. And once you understand it, the whole conversation about this team's ceiling shifts. The narrative around Denver has always been offense. Jokic and Murray. The best two-man game in basketball. The passing, the cutting, the lobs, those clutch plays in the biggest moments. And yeah, all of that is real, but it creates a blind spot. People assume the Nuggets win in spite of their defense, when at full strength, they're actually a pretty good defensive team. So what makes them that? It's not Jokic. His defensive limitations are well documented. It's not Murray either, because in a playoff series, teams are going to hunt him in every single possession. It's Aaron Gordon. Nuggets fans already know it, but the numbers really do make it undeniable. Denver's net rating is roughly 11 points per 100 possessions better when Gordon is on the floor than when he's off. No other player swings both ends by more than 5 points. That's not normal role player impact. And the scary part is that Denver hasn't even had that consistency all year. Gordon has missed huge chunks of the season, and this team has barely been whole. Because for all of Jokic's brilliance and all of Murray's shot making, history is starting to make something pretty obvious. This group doesn't reach true contender status unless a fully healthy Aaron Gordon is on the floor. If you want a real example of what Aaron Gordon's impact looks like, you don't have to go far. Just look at that overtime battle against Victor Wembanyama and the San Antonio Spurs. It was framed as an MVP duel, Jokic versus Wembanyama, but the game was decided somewhere else entirely. San Antonio came out swinging, dropping 43 inches the first quarter and building an early lead while Denver was trying to find its footing. The Nuggets clawed their way back, and in the final seconds of regulation, Aaron Gordon cut to the rim and threw down a dunk to tie at 124 apiece. Overtime, game saved. And in overtime, he just kept showing up. This is a guy who's missed 44 games this season with hamstring issues, but when he's available, the impact is undeniable, especially for a team that's been shaky on defense. After the game, Jokic didn't sugarcoat it. He's been such a great person to have on the roster. It's so good because he can literally guard 1 through 5. He's guarding all the best players every night. He's long. He's quick. He can contest shots. He can block shots. He was guarding De'Aaron Fox. He was guarding Wemby. He's definitely our best defensive player and definitely one of the best defensive players in the NBA. That wasn't just teammate talk either. Wembanyama still got his 34 points, 18 boards, 7 assists. But down the stretch, Gordon made him work for everything. He forced a huge miss late in the fourth and made an alien look human just long enough for Denver to steal the game. Here's the part that really tells you how valuable this guy is. Gordon wasn't even guarding Wembanyama for most of the night. Through the first 3 quarters, Denver was switching screens way too freely, and Wembanyama kept getting clean looks against Murray because of it. Why? Because Denver was managing Gordon. They needed him fresh for the 4th. As head coach David Adelman said, part of the reason why we were switching a lot early, even though sometimes it didn't go well with Wemby, is because you've got to give Aaron the full throttle 4th quarter. He's got to be able to play with fouls and play aggressively. And when that moment came, Gordon delivered. Big stops, timely rotations, smart contests. And then on the other end, finishing plays, knocking down open looks, and making the clutch dunk that forced the extra period in the first place. That's the part of his game people sleep on too. When the lights get bright, Gordon isn't hiding. He's hunting moments. He's stepping up to take the shot, finish the lob, make the play. He's the guy who actually wants the ball in his hands when the game is on the line. You can see it in the numbers, and you can see it on the floor. Denver's defense has been noticeably better with Gordon out there this year. It changes the entire feel of the game. Adelman originally planned to keep Gordon on a minutes restriction against San Antonio, but that plan didn't last. Once the game got tight, they couldn't afford to sit him. He was too important on both ends to take off the floor. And that matters, because this Spurs team isn't just another regular season opponent. They've been one of the hottest teams in basketball, winning 27 of their last 30. 2 of those losses came against Denver. So, if these teams meet in a playoff series, it's not going to be easy. San Antonio is real. But after a win like that, the Nuggets have every reason to feel good about a 7-game matchup, especially with Gordon in the lineup. Because with him healthy, this team looks like a real title contender. Right now, Denver has climbed into the 3rd seed, after their win over Portland and the statement win over San Antonio. But everything comes back to one thing: health. Specifically, Gordon's health. The way this team is built, he isn't a piece you can replace or scheme around. He's the defensive anchor. He's the guy who holds everything together when the game gets chaotic. And the Nuggets know it. There's been a real level of caution and urgency around getting him right for the playoffs. This hasn't been a clean year for him. He missed 19 games from late November through December with the hamstring. Came back, started to find rhythm, then 10 games later went down again on a routine rebound against Milwaukee. From there, he was out the rest of January, all of February, even into March. Stop-start all season long. And every single time he comes back, the impact is immediate. Gordon isn't the only Nugget who's missed time this year. He's just one name on the list, even including 3-time MVP Jokic. But during those stretches without him, Denver kept getting reminded of 2 things. 1, hamstring injuries are brutal in the middle of an 8-2 game grind. There's no clean recovery, no real rhythm, just setbacks. And 2, Gordon is arguably the most important role player in the NBA. Now, that label usually carries a little disrespect, like it minimizes a guy, but with Gordon, it's the opposite. Because he's fully embraced the role, not as a limit, but as the way he elevates everything around him and pushes the Jokic-Murray duo to a level they couldn't reach without him. That was the entire vision behind the 2021 trade. When then team president Tim Connolly went looking for a Jerami Grant replacement, he was hunting fit, and Gordon was perfect. The appeal started with defense. His ability to guard multiple positions and take on elite wings was exactly what Denver needed. The film backed it up, too. He'd already shown he could hold his own against the best the league had to offer. Luka, LeBron, Kawhi, Giannis, Durant. That's a resume built for playoff basketball. At the time, Denver ranked 13th in defensive rating and needed work on that end. And right now, it's starting to look familiar again. This season, the Nuggets have slipped to 21st in defensive rating, and history is pretty clear about what that means. Championship teams don't usually look like that, even ones with elite offenses. When Denver won it all in 2023, they were 5th on offense and 15th on defense. And even that was pushing the historical limit. Since 1996 to 1997, only one champion has ever won the title with a defense outside the top 11, and that was the 2001 Lakers at 22nd. Every other title team in that stretch was top 11, most of them top 5. So if Denver is serious about another run, they have to fix that side of the ball. And it starts with having their most versatile defender available when it matters. Last year, they lived through exactly what happens when he isn't right. In Game 7 of the second round against OKC, Gordon played, but he wasn't himself. He was dealing with a hamstring injury and was very limited. Honestly, it was kind of a miracle he was out there at all. But in 25 minutes, he couldn't be the aggressive, switch everything, do-it-all defender Denver leans on. And it mattered. Because when Aaron Gordon isn't fully Aaron Gordon, this whole system starts to crack. Fast forward to now, and the numbers are saying exactly what your eyes are telling you. With Gordon on the floor this season, Denver is allowing just 108.9 points per 100 possessions. That would rank as the second best defense in the entire league. Take him off, and that number jumps to 117.1, an 8-2-point swing. That's massive. Denver's overall net rating is a +4 with him and a +1.9 without him. What makes this even more interesting is that before the injuries piled up, Gordon was playing some of the best offensive basketball of his career. He opened the year with his first 5-0-point game of his life in Golden State. At the time, he was on pace for a career-high average in scoring. So now you're not just talking about a defensive anchor or glue guy. You're talking about a player who's expanded his offensive ceiling on top of everything he already brings. That's really what this comes down to. Aaron Gordon's presence might literally make or break Denver's season. If he's healthy, and if a guy like Peyton Watson is back in the mix too, you can see the path. This team starts to look like the dominant version again. The one that can defend, switch, survive matchups, and close games at a championship level. If the health doesn't hold, it won't be a mystery why things fall apart. It'll be obvious. Gordon's value in this system is foundational. Most trades don't hit everyone the same way. When Denver made the move for Gordon, it actually stung Jokic at first. They were sending out one of his closest friends in Gary Harris. And in the moment, Jokic wasn't thinking about fit or roster construction, he was just thinking about losing a teammate he loved. 5 years later, it's hard to imagine that deal aging any better. Gordon has evolved right along with his team. Even as his body's taken a beating, hamstrings, calves, and all the wear that comes with years of high-flying play, his game has only gotten more refined. He's shifted roles constantly, power forward, small ball 5, even functioning as a connective playmaker at times. Whatever Denver needs, he adapts. He lives in that rare space between star and role player. Too impactful to be just a guy, but not the name on the marquee, the perfect in-between. And Denver didn't stumble into that. The hunt for this exact archetype went back years. At one point, they were even looking at Drew Holiday, trying to figure out how to deal with guards like Curry flying around screens. But the deeper they looked, the clearer the real problem got. It wasn't the small guards. It was the wings, the giants, LeBron, Kawhi, Paul George, a rising Luka, that 6'6" to 6'9" do-it-all nightmare tier. That's who you have to get through to win in the West. So, the question became simple. Who can guard the monsters? All that internal data pointed to Gordon. The only unknown was whether he'd accept the role. In Orlando, he'd already tried being the guy. He'd put up numbers, taken on usage, experimented with being a primary option, and it just didn't lead anywhere. As people in his circle put it, he was tired of spinning his wheels. Something had to change. And Denver made it clear from day one. If you come here, your game is going to look different. Less dribbling, less ISO, more movement, more reads, more playing off Jokic. Because Jokic is the system. At that point, Nikola was ascending into MVP form, and what he needed wasn't another ball-dominant scorer. He needed a finisher, a cutter, and a defender. Somebody who could cover for him on one end and unlock him on the other. And Gordon stepped right into it. He debuted with 13 points in 20 minutes. Denver won his first 7 games. It clicked fast. Then everything paused when Murray tore his ACL 9 games into Gordon's tenure. A contender frozen in time. But that delay might have been the best thing that could have happened. Because while the team waited, Gordon rebuilt his game from the ground up, simplified it, cut out the excess, refined the short corner positioning and off-ball timing. He turned himself into the exact piece Denver needed. By the time Murray came back and the window reopened in 2023, Gordon was essential. Since then, the connection has only gotten deeper. He's bought into Jokic's world completely, even spending off-seasons in Serbia, embracing the culture, building chemistry off the court too. They're more than just teammates. The Nuggets clinched their 8th straight playoff appearance last week. And now, with another postseason run coming, there's really only one question hanging over all of it: health. Because Denver has known this for a while. Gordon is the X factor, the piece that decides how far this whole thing goes. The box score will never fully capture what Gordon does. 15 points and 6 rebounds against San Antonio won't make a highlight reel. His name won't trend. Wembanyama's 34 and 18 will get the clicks. But the people who actually watch this team, who understand what Denver needs to be in May and June, know what those 41 minutes meant. The defensive adjustment that flipped the game. The corner threes that keep defenses honest. The lob from Jokic that the whole system is built around. The clutch dunk that forced overtime. That's the whole player right there. That's what important actually looks like when it doesn't announce itself. So what do you think? Is Aaron Gordon the piece that decides whether Denver wins another title? Drop your take in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe for more videos just like this one, and check out one of these on your screen now.